Hey everyone, this is George Cook at African American Reports. This is my first time doing a live, so I just wanted to try it out. And I have an interesting topic to discuss. We've all seen what's going on in Los Angeles with ICE moving, security moving in, and rounding up people to deport them. And the question is what came up, our conversations came up in the black community about is it time for us to get off the sidelines, to get back in the fight? And there's been a lot of mixed reactions. Now, to the black community, I want to say don't think that what's going on with the undocumented people being deported is not going to affect us. Trump has already said he would like to see homegrown people sent to prisons in other countries. So that definitely could affect us. So don't be surprised when in the future that you see people rounding up and then 3 months later, 2 months later, you're like, where's Gerard? Where's Bilal? They been sent to El Salvador or what have you because we weren't paying attention to what was going on around us. Now, as far as whether or not black people should get involved again, especially when in a fight when it comes to the undocumented and immigration, there's a lot of mixed views. Some say that we should. Some say it's not really about just immigration. It's just not what's going on with sending people back overseas. The fact of the matter is that we as African Americans are in a situation where if we go out there and protest, if we go out there on the front lines, what is now just gas and flashbangs could turn to bullets, and that's a legitimate concern to all involved. So that's something we have to definitely take into consideration before we go out there. And just to make this clear, there are black people out there protesting, walking side by side with our brown brothers and sisters. So it's not a situation of all of us are not out there. There are many of us that are out there protesting, and then we believe that what Trump is doing is wrong. And on the other hand, you have people who are who have said, you know what, we told them not to vote for him. We told them what would happen, and they didn't listen. And when it comes to black people, we have this old saying that some people don't believe that shit stinks. And some people have to learn the hard way. So when we tell you not to do something, and for some reason you're just determined to do it, we're gonna let you suffer a little bit. We're gonna let you feel a little bit of pain before we jump back in and save your ass. That's just how we do. If you don't feel the pain, you don't feel what's going on, if you don't feel the consequences of your choice, how will you ever learn to do different the next time? That's just the way. And I feel the same way. It's not that we don't want to help, it's that we put it out there. If Trump gets elected, this is what's going to happen. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is what's going to happen. And people didn't want to believe us. Hey, what's up, Raymond? How you doing? I see you, Raymond Diaz. I see you out there. Now, hope you out there in the fight. Wish you and your family the best. We don't want anything to happen to you. And again, when we say that black people are not in the fight, that's not really true. What it is that we've taken time off from national things, but we're still doing what we do in our community, especially our black women. They're still out there doing things in the community when it comes to education. Job Corps is just disbanded. I've been defunded. They're trying to find ways to help those kids and children. So it's not that we've sat down on the sidelines. We're still active in our communities. And again, the question is, when do we get back out there? When do we start protesting with everybody else? I, for one, don't have a problem going back out there. But there's got to be some parameters set. If we go back out there, we need our white allies to be standing side by side with us. So we're less likely to get hurt, to get shot, get arrested. And as we see what's going on in Los Angeles, some communities, you saw white people run ICE out of town. And ICE is flashbangs. There were no rubber bullets. They had white people chanting at them, telling them to go, and they slowly backed out of that community. Now we know for a fact, if there had been black people telling people to back out of their community, it would have ended different. They would still be cleaning the blood off the streets now. So there's concern for everyone that's being involved, but the consequences of us not getting involved, as I said before, can be things like being arrested on some bullshit charges, and before you know it, being sent to El Salvador without due process. Trump has already said he's looking at getting homegrown Americans sent overseas. Who the hell do you think he's talking about? He's talking about black people. Yes, with Hispanic and undocumented people. Oh, matter of fact, do you remember when he said they were going after criminals first? A lot of those people out there that are being arrested were not criminals. They're just people working, sending money back home to their families, trying to make a living. They're not here doing anything illegal. As a matter of fact, they're less likely to do something illegal than not trying to get detected by police, immigration, or anything like that. So again, we're all in the same fight. We may have different reasons for being in that fight, but I don't think there should be any discord between black and brown people, because what's going to happen to one group is eventually going to happen to the other. So I really want to hear your opinions on how do you feel about this. Do you think as much to do about nothing? Do you think we all need to get more involved? And what do you think is going to get Trump to stop? What's going on in Los Angeles is ridiculous. It was under control as long as local police were involved. The National Guard has only escalated the situation. Now, I see people out there in the videos who I guarantee you have nothing to do with the fight against what's going on with undocumented peoples and what's going on with immigration. There are some people that are there just to start trouble. Why are you burning up? Why are you burning up cars, driverless cars? What sense does that make? Okay, once you start turning to violence and destroying property, you're giving Trump what he wants. Okay, don't get violent. Don't destroy property. Don't start tearing apart buildings. You are giving him what he wants. He wants a reason to call in federal troops to do the things he wants to do. And us getting violent, us acting crazy, will give him that reason. And you will have people that will back him till they realize it's too late and what his true plan is. I see you again, Raymond Diaz. What do you mean? What is it that I said that kind of got you questioning what's going on? Just let me know. I'm really interested in your opinions and your thoughts. Again, this is my first live, so I'm trying to keep a coherent train of thought going. But it's, it's different. I'm used to doing 2-3 minute video. Their win opinion. Please let me know. I don't know what's going on the Hispanic Latino side. I can't sit here and tell you I know what they're going through. They couldn't tell me they know what I'm going through. But I do know that we're all in danger with Trump as president. And if we have a united front, we can fight back and we can make sure what happens, especially in 2026, when we all need to get our asses out there and vote and make sure that this doesn't happen again. Because if a Democratic president was in charge, let's be honest, we would not be going through this right now. You would not have children going to school in the morning. Who raised a graduation? Who raised a child's graduation? Where children, after it's over, don't know where mommy and dad know who to go home to. That's sick. That's cruel. That's inhumane. And anybody with humanity should have a problem with that. Raiding a Home Depot was one thing, but waiting outside of a graduation is disgusting. Waiting outside of somebody doing the right thing and going to a hearing, as they're told to do, they're going through the procedure, they get there, and the judge on some bullshit just dismisses the charges and sends them back out of the courtroom into the hands of ICE or Homeland Security. That's wrong. That will make more people decide, you know what, I'm not going through the process. So I'm starting to wonder, what is it you're trying to achieve with all these, just snatch people up everywhere? Okay, some of it's just not right. Again, snatching children up at graduations is one of the most despicable things I have ever heard of or seen in my life. I mean, what's going to happen with the children once you do that? Seriously. And to the heartless ICE agents, people that's helping them, how can you do this? And many of them, let's be honest, a lot of the ICE agents are Latino. They are Hispanic. Because they need somebody that can speak the language to help round these people up. Again, who are not criminals, who are not taking American jobs. Because let's be honest, we don't do those jobs. And when we won't do those jobs because they don't pay enough. And a lot of businesses are set up. So what's the end game here? The end game is that they're building private prisons, but if they're sending everyone that's here illegally overseas, who do they intend to put in those private prisons? Our black asses. Pay attention, people. This is about private prisons, because it's damn sure not about jobs. Because the people that do those jobs are being deported. Americans are not going to be busboys, do landscaping, maids, work at the hotels. We decided decades ago we weren't going to fill those jobs, and we haven't. So when it comes to things like farming, I hear people that go out there and pick fruit, work on the farms. That is backbreaking, hard labor. And we as Americans have become soft. We can't do that shit anymore. People have done it for 1 to 2 days and quit. So again, who's going to do those jobs? How is our economy going to stay afloat when you and I both know we have entire businesses built on immigrant labor, where they go to Home Depot and pick somebody up just to work a day or two to get a project done? You have businesses where only thing on the books is the owner and the secretary and maybe a manager, but no employees. You know why? Because they all use immigrant labor, and that's how a lot of things get done in this country. So I don't want to ramble on too long, but I did want to put my thoughts out there. Again, this is my first live. I tried to pick a topic that was timely. And so what I covered was, is it time for black people to get off the sidelines and get back into the protest? I believe it is, but there has to be organization. People have to be protected, because once we show up, guns come out. And what's going on? We all need to pay attention, because due process of everyone, American and non-American. As I said earlier, without due process, you can be snatched up on Tuesday and being out in El Salvador on Wednesday. And that's not the way the system is supposed to work. So that's it for my first live. Goodbye and God bless y'all. Leave your comments. Say what you got to say. Thank you, Raymond Diaz, for commenting. Appreciate it. Y'all have a good one.